The Equalizer's fans started to wonder if they would ever get to see the trilogy finished, and now it has been officially confirmed that The Equalizer 3 is headed on its way, with star Denzel Washington reprising his role. There's a reason why Denzel Washington is viewed as one of the last great actors in Hollywood, and the 68-year-old American actor is about to demonstrate his skill as an action star once more in the upcoming third installment of the critically acclaimed series The Equalizer, which will be called The Equalizer 3. Since the initial movie's 2014 release, and almost 10 years have gone by since we first saw Denzel Washington's character Robert McCall defeat Russian mobsters and then exact revenge on the bad guys who had killed his friend, we're ready for a lot of action and an engaging plot because the audience has no idea what the upcoming movie has in store for us all.
To reconsider. To think about the worst thing that could ever happen to him.
The Equalizer movies use the same fundamental premise to follow Robert McCall, a man with a dangerous past who uses his skills to protect innocent people from those looking to do them harm. The Equalizer movies are based on the crime series of the same name from the 1980s starring Edward Woodward. Despite the fact that Robert isn't a superhero, the series has a vigilante edge that puts it on an equal level with contemporary vigilante series like The Punisher and John Wick. As the Lyft driver who also doubles up as a vengeful protector, Robert doesn't necessarily have much to do with the events of the first movie. However, when his former co-worker Susan is found murdered, Robert finds himself at the center of a sinister scheme. In order to solve the case, he's compelled to work with his former partner, Dave York.
Susan was about to figure out who was in that room. That's why she was killed, Dave. The two are connected.
According to what the first two films in this collaboration between Fuqua and Washington have to offer, the third film in the partnership promises a similar high death toll and a similar criminal scheme for McCall to unravel. He'll undoubtedly be helping those in need once more by doing what he can. Given that this is the first and only franchise in which Washington has returned for a sequel, there must be something about it that the actor is eager to learn more about. And if you're wondering if Washington and director Antoine Fuqua will reunite to complete a trilogy, there's still hope. So far, both films in the series have performed well financially, with the first grossing $192 million worldwide and the second nearly as much as $190 million. It's clear that the series has built-in fans who actively want to see Washington kick butt on the big screen, given that the two movies had budgets between $55 and $60 million and have been strong performers. The Equalizer 3 reportedly began filming sometime in 2022, according to Washington. Later, Sony Pictures declared that The Equalizer 3's theatrical debut would take place on September 1st of 2023. Since that's the case, it won't be long before Denzel Washington's Robert McCall is back on the big screen, once again taking out gangsters and doing his part to keep people safe. There's still plenty of time for that to change, and a September 1 release date is not guaranteed given the consent shifting of release dates over the course of the past year.
Every day, I know less.
Welcome to the club.
Nevertheless, it appears that the film industry is becoming more stable, and given that filming started in 2022, a 2023 release date appears feasible. Before we go any further, we wanted to let you know that it's time for you to smash that like button if you haven't done it already. As we previously mentioned, Washington is reprising the role of Robert McCall, a former Marine and Defense Intelligence Agency agent who, in his civilian life, assumes the role of vigilante defender of those who's unable to defend themselves. There's a slim chance that a character from the second movie will return, but Ashton Sanders, who plays Miles, the young artist who captures Robert's attention in the first movie, might do so. With the addition of Eugenio Mastrandrea, Remo Girone, Sonia Amar, Danielle Perrone, Andrea Scarduzio, and Andrea Dodaro, Sony had completed the cast of The Equalizer 3. The actors joined an ensemble led by Denzel Washington, and it was recently announced that Dakota Fanning would join the cast of The Equalizer 3, reuniting with Washington for the first time since their acclaimed pairing in the 2004 film Man on Fire. Susan Plummer, played by Melissa Leo, is the only supporting character to appear in both films, despite the fact that she's brutally murdered in the second film, which motivates McCall to embark on the murderous expedition in the first place. It goes without saying that we shouldn't count on seeing her in the third film unless there's a flashback scene.
Oh, in God's name, do you know it was me?
I can smell you.
For God's sake, I just peed.
The last time we saw Robert, he's gazing out at the sea. The people he has interacted with having benefited greatly from his actions. He prevented Miles from becoming a member of a gang and gave an elderly man the chance to put a painful chapter of life to rest. Washington even stated on the record that there are many more adventures to be had, saying it's a story without an ending and it's open-ended, so here we are. It sounds like there could be a lot more Equalizer available to the studio if they so desired, with a lot of potential directions it could take.
Hey, Mr. McCall,
Yeah,
I think the bleeding stopped.
good. Good.
There's no information available about the plot of the upcoming Equalizer movie at this early stage of production, but it's safe to assume that McCall, the lead character, will be managing yet another fresh case in this upcoming episodic movie. Since his 1985 debut in the CBS spy series of the same name, McCall has been a mysterious character during its 4-season run. That show, which starred Edward Woodward, occasionally broached the subject of the former agent's past, but in a hazy manner most of the time.
There you go.
Wow. I heard about these. I've never seen one before.
Yeah, well, now you have.
The 2014 launched Equalizer series has been equally evasive about McCall's background information. We know he can kick ass, often in novel ways such as when he uses bar utensils to take out a gang of mobsters or tortures the bad guy with exhaust fumes. The majority of the time, however, he works as a relatively unnoticed former DIA agent who helps missing children, Holocaust survivors, and anyone else in need of his specialist skill set. According to Fuqua's comments, however, it appears that Equalizer 3 will finally give the character a more thorough backstory, allowing us to discover more about him and his past. The film will be shot in a number of small towns, seaside villages, and other locations along the Amalfi coast of Italy, as well as in Sardinia, Sicily, and Naples, according to the director.
What number?
Last one.
It has always been Antoine Fuqua's ambition to take Robert McCall and his unique set of abilities abroad. While the first 2 installments of The Equalizer kept things firmly planted in place, it appears that Robert will be setting his sights on a very different horizon in the 3rd installment. This time, it appears that McCall will have to deal with Italian mafia members, and it'll happen on their territory. However, we can anticipate a scenario that is little less violent and has more emotional components in place of that. He'll certainly defeat and eliminate more villains, and if he doesn't accomplish that, he won't qualify as the Equalizer. We left McCall in his home in Massachusetts near the ocean at the end of the previous scene, and that's likely where the film will begin. It's possible that Dakota is a relative of his, perhaps a wandering daughter who'll cause trouble. And because of this, you need to smash that subscribe button and notification bell so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future.
You know what it is.
Listen, since you're in my house, water my plants for me, please, because I'm not going to be back for a while.
Washington is already preparing to be in top physical condition for the film. When he was asked for it, he said, "I gotta get in shape and start beating people again. Can't get any better, right?" The theme of the previous 2 films, which was to find meaning in everything, something Robert McCall seems to care about both a lot and not at all at the same time, will probably be one of the things that the new film sticks to. See you in the next video.